We certainly have to be thankful for what happened in the Acts of the Apostles today, because I would say probably most of us, if not all of us, are indeed Gentiles, meaning we're not Jewish. And if this had not happened, we would have to go and become Jewish in order to become Christians. So what a blessing that the Lord has spoken this word that he is to call all people to himself. I don't usually focus on the Psalm, and yet the Psalm, of all the books of the Bible, this is the one book that is in every Mass. Well, almost every Mass. Sometimes they take a canticle from one of the other books, but probably 98% of the Masses have some Psalm that is part of it. And while I didn't go and do any deep research, these are my initial thoughts on this. I think this is the Psalm of David, which means here he is. He's looking to be able to go into the presence of God. So let's look at this from a historical perspective. First of all, if this was written by David, this was before the temple had been built. But he did bring the Ark of the Covenant up to Jerusalem, and that was the place of their primary worship. And so he's looking and saying, when can I go? When can I enter the presence of God again? Maybe, I'm not sure, maybe this is one of those times when he has been exiled from Jerusalem, running away from someone who's chasing him, whether it be his own son or some other issue that's going on. And he's saying, when can I come back to the altar of God? I don't know. But then we have this, as the hind longs for running waters, so my soul longs for you, O God. Athirst is my soul for God, the living God. When shall I go and behold the face of God? In the Torah, as God was setting out how worship was to be done, one of the things that was done, of course, we know about the sacrifices of bulls and calves and all that. But they also had a golden table on which they placed loaves of bread. These were the showbread, as it was called. And according to custom, according to some of the Jewish writings of the early church, or before the early church, was that they would come out once a year, or maybe a few times a year, I forget, and show on this table this bread to the people and say, behold the face of God. Behold the love of God. When shall I go and behold the face of God? He's hoping to go back to that place where worship takes place. And of course, in the Jewish understanding of when they had the temple, that was the place that worship of God took place. You had to go to where the ark was. We have the Ark of the Covenant everywhere we go. Because by being baptized, we bear Christ. But in a special way, we have the Eucharist, where we can go and behold the face of God. If the Jewish covenant was such that they could hold up bread, ordinary bread, blessed by their priests, yes, and say, behold the face of God, how much more when we have the new covenant, where this isn't just symbolically the face of God, but in reality and sacrament, the face of God. He's calling us to long to come into his presence, to worship him. Here David is talking about, oh, bring me to your holy mountain, to your dwelling place. Then I will go to the altar of God, the God of my gladness and joy. Then will I give thanks to you upon the harp, O God, my God. This great joy he has of being able to come and worship God. We come before the God of the universe, many of us every day. We come and we can worship and bow down. And worship is not about saying, okay, I'm going to destroy myself because I'm terrible and God is everything. Rather, worship is recognizing the fullness of who we are, because it is when we come into the presence of God and bow down that we truly become who we were made to be, because we were made to come into intimacy with the God of the universe. And worship allows us to enter into that intimacy with God. So, my brothers and sisters, as we come and worship the Lord today, let us ask Him to stir up that thirst for Him, like a deer for running water, that our souls may long, may thirst, may pine for the God of the universe, so that when we come and behold His face, we may be able to say, yes, here I come with thanksgiving. I am satiated. My thirst is fulfilled.